Good evening, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me again. Thank you for joining me, whether you're watching on X or whether you're watching on YouTube. Guys, I'm banned, so I'm not streaming on TikTok. I'm just double streaming today. We are talking about the urgent news in the United Kingdom. Children have been poisoned en masse. No, I'm not making that up. That is a legitimate headline. Multiple news outlets are talking about that. Children went to a summer camp and they've been poisoned. A 76-year-old man has been arrested. We're going to come on to that later, guys. Protesters gather in and around Epping, looking like they're heading into the fourth week of protests. Also, I've just jumped on something here, guys. Lloyds and Halifax banking apps are down. Lloyds and Halifax banking apps down. Banking apps not working on UK's payday. Now, let's double this up with the technical issue that the technical issue that the airport suffered last, was it yesterday or the day before? I would speculate that this has all the hallmarks of a cyber attack. Why? Well, you've got to think about it logically, guys. You know, if you can get into these systems, and I've done videos about it. I mean, look, guys, this is barely even breaking the headline news at the moment. Lloyds and Halifax banking apps are down. It's not even making the headline news. It happens that often. Now, what do I always say about cyber attacks? The golden standard for any cyber attack, guys, literally the golden standard for each and every cyber attack is to cause a financial crisis. Now, what better way, literally, guys, what better way to attack the banking apps than right on that payday, right on that day where people, that time where people are getting paid, it's the summer holidays. What better way to what better time to attack the banking system? If you was a bad guy, this is exactly when you would do it. You wouldn't do it in the middle of the month. Nobody really had direct debits going out and people don't get paid in the middle of the month. The majority of people I would say the majority of people in the world, they get paid on the last working day of the month, and then their direct debits come out on the first working day of the month. That's pretty much how people live, guys, all right? So what better way to attack the banking system than do it right at the end of the month? That's going to mess everything up. It's going to cause stress. It's going to cause distress. It's just going to be an absolute drama. Also, with the, and look, guys, I'm only speculating here. I obviously don't know what was happening. Maybe it was just a third-party application. Like that's the usual spiel they give it, isn't it? It was down to a third-party application, and they keep doing this. Equally, with the air traffic and with the flights being grounded in the United Kingdom, again, what better way to do that than just as the summer holidays are starting and people are wanting to go away on their summer holidays? Right, let's jump back onto this, guys, because this headline is absolutely unbelievable. Man, 67, arrested on suspicion of poisoning children at Leicestershire summer camp. I'm not making that up, guys. I am not making that up. In fact, let me put it on this other screen because hang on, let me put this on this other screen, guys. Give me a second. Man 67 arrested on... Let me close that one because it'll just get confused. Man 67 arrested on suspicion of poisoning children. Come on, man. Honestly, is this where we are now in the United Kingdom? Men, grown men at 67-year-old are poisoning children. This is what the headline says, guys. A 67-year-old man has been arrested. Yeah, we've just done that. On suspicion of administering poison at a summer camp in Leicestershire. This has all the hallmarks of, the thing that we all think it's going to be, but nobody can say it. This has all the hallmarks, doesn't it? Attacking children all the time. Why are they attacking children? And you know what? I did a video on I did a video on TikTok about this. One of the, do you know what? Not just one. I think there's a couple of comments saying free Palestine, and I'm thinking, how does poisoning children? Can you tell me, guys? Can somebody put it in the comments? How does poisoning children in the UK free Palestine? How does that work? Like, is that where how they roll now? So these guys waving the Palestine flags, are they like, you know, we will poison children here. Send your children to summer camp. We will poison them right now. Like, is this where we're going? Is this the direction of travel in the world? Like, it's unbelievable, guys. Children, honestly, like, why? Like, what do we think what do they think they're gonna achieve? Like, or whoever, I don't know who this is, guys. You know, we can only speculate. You know, I'm not even gonna speculate. I'm just gonna read you the article. The incident is believed to have happened at Stathern Lodge, a converted farmhouse with sports hall and catering facilities. So I'm assuming this is one of those, you know, one of those places that you send your kids out the summer. They go like hill walking, and they might go kayaking. There might be a lake nearby or something. And then the mums and dads come and pick them up in a few days and like, oh, mummy and daddy, I'm so glad to be home. Officers responded to a report there on Sunday. I mean, maybe they were buying food in from one of these hotels. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I know there's a lot of hotels in Leicestershire. Officers responded to a report there on Sunday, the 27th of July, after several children reported that they were feeling unwell. The man was arrested at the camp on suspicion of administering poison with intent to cause injury. Like, that's unbelievable, isn't it, guys? That there was a man, and we don't know his name yet. I mean, you know, the police didn't come out and say he's a white man, and no, you know, nobody's come out and said that. So I don't know what this is. Police said he was arrested at a nearby public house on Monday evening. He remains in custody. So we don't know what's happened, guys. We really don't know what's happened. It's phenomenal what's happening. It really is phenomenal. And I'm just so happy. I'm just so happy that this didn't go any further and that all the children have made a recovery. You can imagine, I don't know, you can imagine what he was trying to achieve, can't you? You can imagine what he was trying to achieve. And I've said this before. I mean, go back and look through my videos. You know, I've said, you know, the food supply, like food in the United Kingdom, if we're talking about sabotage, you know, we have got substations, we've got, you know, gas pipes, we've got electricity cables, we have got water. Did I say that? We've also got water pumping stations, water pipes. We've also got the food supply in the United Kingdom. All these things can be heavily poisoned. You know, every time you go to a takeaway, like, how do you know what? You know, I'm very careful about what I eat, guys. You know, I'm very careful about what I eat. We only need to look at recent incidents where Ricin, I'm not going to mention his name, Ricin was found at somebody's house and manuals on how to do certain things. So we know these things are easily available in the United Kingdom. We know that bad guys know how to use them. And guys, look, I don't know what the chemical was. You know, there's the investigation's ongoing. The guy is in custody. We don't know his name yet. I don't know why. So who is leading the investigation then? The investigation is now being led by East Midlands Special Operations and Major Units team. It is described as a collaborative unit of officers and staff from Leicestershire, Derbyshire, Nottinghamshire, Lincolnshire and Northamptonshire police forces who are tackling the most serious, organised, violent and countering terrorism and extremism. So I don't know which one of those it's going to fit into, guys. Is it going to fit under organised and violent crime? I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know. We don't know where this is being organised. But guys, listen, if you're just joining for the first time, the news of the day, as far as I'm concerned anyway, man 67 arrested on suspicion of poisoning children. I mean, honestly, I was talking earlier about the death penalty, and I don't think it should be brought back, but I do think there should be a special place reserved in hell for people who actively go to target children. I really do. I really do. I really do think that, guys. You know, and as you know, as a Western man, as a Western man who I identify myself as Anglo-Saxon, and my bloodline is quite traceable back to the 11th century. I struggle to see what goes through these people's heads. Like, so this man, he's 76, right? And look, guys, I don't know what's happened. I'm going on what the mainstream are saying here, right? And they're saying, man 76 arrested on suspicion of poisoning children at Leicestershire camp. And then it goes down and it says, the man was arrested on suspicion of administering poison with intent to injure. So I can only assume that's like at the food, and I can only assume he was like a chef or something, or maybe I don't know. So I can only assume he's one of the people who works there. Now, I don't know if he's a DEI hire. I don't know if they went all woke and decided to have people that don't speak English as their first language as their staff. I don't know, guys. I genuinely don't. Look, we're not going to speculate on this channel. We speculate all the time, don't we? But that person, he has to get that poison, whatever it was. I don't know the chemical. He has to get that poison then and pour it. And then pour it into the I don't know, the soup or the beans or whatever, I don't know. Can you imagine you send your kids off, you send your kids off to some, who does that anyway? Honestly, guys, the girls wanted to go to a dancing thing this summer. I just said no. I said, I'm not, I said, no, you're not going to a dancing thing. Not a chance. Not a chance. Am I leaving you alone in a room with a load of other little girls and 2 girl dance teachers? I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it, guys. Call me whatever you want. Call me whatever you want. I'm just not doing it. I'm not taking that risk. Right, guys, I'm going to jump up and get some comments. Lots of comments jumping down. Ladies and gentlemen, I guess we're on. We're only double streaming today because I've been banned from TikTok again. Can you please show your support? Like, comment, subscribe, bell notifications, all those things that help this channel grow. And also, guys, can you please share my stuff? Because I really appreciate it when you guys share my stuff on your socials. So the news of the day: children poisoned. Urgent, guys. This is kind of urgent. It's not kind of urgent. It is urgent. There's literal people cruising around the United Kingdom poisoning kids. There should be a special place in hell reserved for those type of people. Children poisoned in the United Kingdom. Epping protesters gather. And also we have had another, I'm calling it a cyber attack. The government, the mainstream media, they will just be calling it a banking app gone down. Multiple banking apps gone down on payday. Also, yesterday we had the situation yesterday where the flights were grounded. What better way to do that, guys, than when people are going on their summer holidays? What better time to mess about with people's banking systems than when they're getting paid and the direct debits are coming out? And it's just the best time to do it if you're wanting to cause that maximum social collateral. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Matt is saying hi, mate. I'm saying hi right back to you, Matt. Rocket Man Gaming is saying hi, mate. Hope you're well. I am indeed. Matt is saying just watch. Oh, hang on. Oh, so Matt is saying a video about the poisoned kids. The man put a narcotic. The man put the narcotic. Allegedly, look, Matt, I'm not doubting you, but Matt is saying that they were poisoned with a narcotic. What was he trying to do? He ain't Russian, is he? Yeah. Nobody. Right, guys, listen. Do you know what? Am I allowed to say this? Right, this would get me banned on TikTok. If I said, don't accept tea from a Russian on TikTok, that would get me banned. I can guarantee you that the screen would go off and I will be dillily swizzled. Luke Jacobs is saying, heard from a TikTok streamer that it was Sorry, I've got this thing, ladies and gentlemen, where I see the message and I see the words and then I talk before I've read the words. It gets me into a lot of trouble. Heard from a TikTok streamer, I bet he's not been banned as much as me, that that was at the Britannia Canary Wharf protest, a security officer said that illegal immigrants are no longer going to be put in the Britannia. But where are they going to be put, guys? Where are they going to be put? Silly Gallardi is saying, hi guys, heard your Prime Minister is about to free Palestine in September. I hope that means hostages will be home for Rosh Hashanah. Look, guys, silly Gallardi, right? You know, the British Prime Minister in the UK does not speak for, certainly doesn't speak for everyone. It's kind of embarrassing. But the reason I believe that this is happening, is because the United States, look, like, guys, let's just contextualize what's just happened. You know, the United States, well, not the United States, Donald Trump's just been over to the United Kingdom and he summoned Keir Starmer for a visit. I mean, he flexed so much on Keir Starmer, it's unbelievable. Guys, listen, we get censored, okay? And silly Gallardi, I don't know if you know this or not, but now we have huge censorship laws in the United Kingdom whereby the government can decide what we can and cannot hear. So yeah, we have massive censorship laws in the United Kingdom now. They came into place like a couple of days ago. So I think this recognizing Palestine as an independent state, I think this is coming because the United States are going to move. There's going to be a big escalation, and the United States are going to move their military in there, and the United Kingdom, because we have a huge Muslim demographic in the United Kingdom, then, you know, they would be protesting massively if the United Kingdom were overtly supporting that. You know, so look, guys, you know, Keir Starmer, right? I would argue that Keir Starmer speaks for maybe 10 to 15% of the country, and that's at a push. And you know what? Just going on to that with the Free Palestine, guys. I did a post earlier on about this poisoning of the children. Look, guys, and I don't know what it is. I'm just reading it here. Man 76 arrested on suspicion of poisoning children. I did a post earlier on about poisoning children, and like, I think 2 people or maybe even 3 people commented Free Palestine. So like, where is the connection between poisoning children and freeing Palestine? Like, I don't know what the connection is there, guys. I don't know what the connection is there. If somebody can tell me what that, connection is, I would love to hear it. Liz Sue is saying, isn't it strange that it's just come out today when it happened last Sunday? Yeah, very strange, you know, that it's taken this long to get out on the mainstream. But, you know, I guess these things will have had a cap on them. People have been trying to hide them. Luke Jacobs saying, Starmer's words, free the sausages. Yeah, Starmer wanted to free the sausages, not the hostages. And I hope he meant kosher sausages. Right, Silly Gallardi saying, what is a kosher sausage, guys? I genuinely don't know what a kosher sausage is. Now, I don't mean to take this live stream on an awkward direction, but what is a kosher sausage? I don't know, what is a kosher sausage? And Luke Jacobs is saying there's a rumor they're going into a Premier Inn. Not sure how true that is. Right, guys, yeah, I mean, look, we're all talking about, you know, close the hotels. I mean, I think another 800, was it? I think there was over 800 migrants turned, I mean, how can we call them migrants anymore? Another 800 gentlemen turned up today, ready for the King's administration. You know, earlier on, guys, earlier on today, I was talking about this guy, William Joyce, who got hung. So in the Second World War, there was a guy. I was talking about this earlier. I'll only breeze through it. So earlier on, I was talking about this guy. His name was William Joyce. Now, he was hung in 1945, I think. He was hung. Well, you're right. Yeah, 1946. So he was hung on the 3rd of January, 1946, for broadcasting anti-British propaganda. And I'm thinking now, people used to get hung for broadcasting anti-British propaganda. We now encourage it. We literally encourage it. What's that guy's name? You know him that was on the stage. I don't know his name. He's like a black guy with dreadlocks. I don't know what his name, guy. I don't know what his name is, guys. Genuinely don't know what his name is. I know his real name is like something like William Foster Barron or something. But like he's there on stage and he was saying like, "I heard you want your country back. I heard you want your country back. Ha ha." And then he's been like, "Shut the fuck up." I was like, honestly, like I don't know how much rage would have been in me if I was in the crowd, but I'm pretty nimble, guys. Almost 43. I'm pretty nimble, and I'm not sure those security guards would have been able to stop me from getting up there on the stage with him. And I've said, "Yeah, here I am, mate. I do want my country back. You want to go? Do you want to sign a contract right now? And like whatever happens to you, it's what you wanted." The show would be over, guys. The show would be over. But then again, I wouldn't go to one of those. I wouldn't go to one of those places. Yeah, so sorry, guys. I was digressing. William Joyce, also known as Lord Haw, executed by hanging in the UK. He was found guilty of high treason for broadcasting anti-British propaganda during World War II. We literally have a political class now who broadcast and talk about the same stuff, but these guys are in Parliament now. We have fallen so far, guys. Honestly, viva la Antarctica. I think it's coming, guys. I do. I think it's coming. I think we're all going down to Antarctica. Right, let me try and get an update from Epping. I've got a live stream here. Hang on, guys. I've got a live stream. Let's see what's happening.
Across the country, and I know next Friday there's going to be quite a big number of them of hotel protests going. I'll be covering the one in Norwich.
So next Friday, apparently, guys, next Friday, there's a number of hotel protests going. I think next Friday is next Friday is a day of unity where people are going to gather en masse. Well, guys, look, I said this would happen. People are going to gather en masse around their local hotels. Guys, look, at least some of those protests are going to turn nasty. And then you're going to see, we're going to have this very strange scenario whereby the government now can can restrict who sees what. So people won't really know what's happening. So I think we're going to have a very strange scenario soon, because I don't know how this free speech law infringes people from the United States, for example. So if one of my friends from Texas messages me, can the UK government read his messages? Like, can the government in the UK restrict his messages to me? You see where we're going on this, guys? I don't know where this is going, guys. I don't know where this is going. I know it's not going anywhere good. Certainly, I know it's not going anywhere good. Matt is saying Starmer doesn't speak for the UK. He lies so much. Yeah, he does, doesn't he? He's like Starmer is he's like an absolute chameleon. He changes his opinion. He changes his direction. Oh, I want this. Oh, I want that. Oh, I don't know what I want. Yeah, he's fantastic. He's a chameleon, guys. He is a chameleon. The British people are just trying to get rid of him at the moment before our next election. Ladies and gentlemen, I've said this once, I've said it before. I don't think there is any chance. I don't think there's any chance of Keir Starmer going before the next election, guys. I just don't see it. What? Is it Sunderland? What? Hang on a minute, guys. Guys. I need to get this up. Sunderland police station on fire? No, I'm not. No, I'm. No, I'm. Oh, right. Okay. No, this was for. So okay. So this was an article from last year. So there's an article from last year. This is an article. There's an article from last year. Unless it's happened again. Let me just have a look on X. No, I think the police station in Sunderland on fire was last year. Yeah, that was from last year, guys. Yeah, that was from last year. But ladies and gentlemen, I have got. In fact, we'll talk about that after. Then Silly Gallardi is saying a kosher sausage are sausages with no pork, cheese, and no taste. Right, okay. And Sarah Edlington is saying, evening, you're on early. Yeah, guys, listen, I am on a little bit early. I've got just summer holidays. I've got a barbecue, and what I'm going to have to do when we get to about like half an hour or just over the half an hour point, I'm going to have to run outside and light the charcoal. But the news of the day, guys, is a man, 67, has been arrested on suspicion of poisoning children. Now, from you guys, and I don't know how much credibility is in this, guys, but from you guys, there has been a little bit of an update. Now, he put some sort of narcotics in there that wasn't really going to, like, hurt any... I'm just going to say narcotics, guys. I don't want to get into this because it's pure speculation off a message that was on the chat. But look, guys, at the end of the day, who actually does that? Man 67 arrested on suspicion of poisoning children at a summer camp. So, also, ladies and gentlemen, I'm predicting a big military, something big involving Ukraine either tomorrow or next Friday. Now, I'll give you the background to this and I'll tell you why I think this is going to happen. First of all, the government need to get the media away from what's happening domestically. So can you imagine? No, it's going to happen next Friday. It's going to happen next Friday, guys. It's going to happen next Friday. It is going to happen next Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, all my videos are public record. This is going to happen next Friday. Absolutely. Yeah. Not 100%, but listen, I'll give you my reasoning why. This is why you guys are here. This is why you guys are here. So let's put the breadcrumbs together, guys, shall we? The government need a media focus right now other than domestic politics. What better way than a war? So the government are searching for that, and they really need that now. What happens? Look, we can, and I think it was a little bit, not suspicious, but a little bit peculiar that Donald Trump just decided to come over to Scotland to play a couple of rounds of golf. And he's like, hey, Keir, you little, I'm not going to be rude. Hey, Keir, get yourself over here and bring your special forces guys with you. Or don't come at all, just bring your special forces guys. Like something like that may have happened. At these meetings, when Keir Starmer goes to meet Donald Trump, and when Donald Trump comes over, he will travel with an attaché, a group of people with him. So that group of people you will have, and I don't know what the roles or the names, it doesn't really matter. Somebody like Special Forces Liaison Officer Ukraine, Special Forces Liaison Officer Europe, Special Forces Air Liaison, some sort of peculiar titles. And then they'll just have some guy who's just called Dave. And like Dave might not be his name, but he'll just sit there and he'll be dictating. Nobody really knows who Dave is, but Dave speaks with an air of authority. He doesn't introduce himself with a title. Shit. Dave doesn't even introduce himself. Dave just talks and everybody listens. And as soon as Dave opens his mouth, everybody looks at him. So you kind of know that Dave's running the show, even though he doesn't have to introduce himself. I don't know. Maybe that happens. Maybe that happens. Maybe it doesn't. Anyway, so when Keir Starmer and Donald Trump are having their little meeting and they're getting grilled by whatever news organizations, somewhere behind the scenes, in behind closed doors, because remember, nobody needs to take minutes of what the aides, what the attaches, what the advisors have to say. Nobody has to take minutes of that. The press aren't really interested in those. The press are only interested in the front guys. So behind the scenes, this sort of stuff will be happening. Now, what will be happening is those guys will be talking to each other face to face. You can't hack face to face, guys, all right? All their phones will be left outside. There will be anti-jamming devices in that room. It will be a clean room. And they'll be talking about operations in Ukraine, support, weapons, how much artillery's where, how many gun barrels they've got where, how many tanks, what they can do with drones, what they can do with Storm Shadow, what they can do with Scalp, what they can do with Taurus, how many F-16s have been lost, how many pilots they've got, what they can do, how they can surge. All that sort of stuff will be discussed. Now, that conversation can't be transmitted over any carrier waves. It's just too sensitive. So what will happen is then, once that conversation's happened, the guys from the United States will fly back to the United States. They will brief their guys up in America. Somebody from that meeting will then get on a plane to Krakow, get on a vehicle from get on a plane to Poland, maybe Romania, probably Poland. Get on a plane from the UK to Poland, off the plane in Poland. Then they'll be driven all the way into Kiev. So they're probably getting to Kiev like now or tomorrow. Obviously, that isn't enough time to put this plan into action because he's got to get there. He's got to brief his guys. He's got to call all his special forces guys in. He's got to call his generals in. He's got to call his colonels in. He gets there. He briefs Zelensky. He briefs the special forces guys. Then they need to go out and brief their guys. There's like a third rule. So I'm not going to go into the third rule. If you're in the military, you know what I'm talking about. So all this is too early for tomorrow, guys. It's too early for tomorrow. So I'm speculating. You guys have heard me now that there's going to be a military advancement, a military move, a military advancement in Ukraine next Friday, early Friday. Maybe early Friday. No, not early Friday. I'm changing my mind. Guys, listen, I'm thinking out loud. It's going to happen next Friday, all right? Because what we just heard then, there's mass protests planned all over the United Kingdom for next Friday. So what better way to overshadow the protests so people are not watching the protests than to have a mass military movement in the east of Ukraine, a mass military push, either the Russians pushing, the Ukrainians pushing, something that's going to be all over the headlines. And it always happens on a Friday. Why Friday? Because people can make a ton of money if you know the stock market's going to go up or down. Easier to get things through on a Friday because people are skiving, people are not turning up to work, people want to go home early. There you have it, guys, all right? That's what I'm planning. That's what I think has been hatched. And this historically happens, guys. You just need to look at when these people go for meetings, look at the military operations afterwards. I don't know, guys. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. If you think I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. Anyway, let me jump up, guys. Let me jump up and get these comments. Right, and Debbie Doobs is saying he fed them space cookies. Right, okay, so I guess that's not as bad. Look, guys, I don't know. I'm reading the headlines here. You know, I'm reading the headlines. We don't know what's happened. We're speculating. Freddie is saying, yeah, nurses. So doctors want more money. Nurses, I just give it them. I would just give it them, guys. I would literally give everybody. If I was the government now, I'd say, right. Everybody, just tell me how much you want. We'll just print all the money. I mean, the economy's gone anyway. Nobody's pretending. Like we're just pretending at the moment, aren't we? We're just pretending that we're a legit. Oh, hang on, guys. Something's happening on the live stream. Give me a second.
I don't know where they're going to. I know they're playing music.
No, sorry, guys. I've got a live stream on here of what's happening in Epping. And when there's developments, I will let you guys know. But look, guys, the big protest is planned for next Friday. Now, as I understand it, there's big protests planned all over the country for next Friday. So not tomorrow, but the week after. This would coincide perfectly with the military advancements in Ukraine. Anyway, sorry. Freddie is saying Freddie is saying nurses move closer to strike action as record number rejects pay offer. Like, people just want, like, why wouldn't they? If you're a nurse now and everybody's getting more money, you'd be like, yeah, whatever, I'll have more money. And some breaking news here, some update from information on the ground. Lisa Jane, oh, hang on, guys.
There's a march to somewhere.
Right, so, right, guys, I'm just giving you guys a quick update on what's happening in Epping. The protesters from Epping outside the Bell Hotel have gone onto the road and they're marching somewhere. I don't know where they're going. I don't know where they're going. They might be going for a pint or something. But they're all on the road now. There's blue signal flares, lots of people draped in the beautiful Union flag. Police are running to try and keep up with them. I don't know whether this is a tactic just to keep the police on their toes. But you've got I don't know if it's all the protesters, but it certainly looks like a good amount of the protesters now are leaving the Bell Hotel. And they oh, hang on.
I feel like a lefty.
Yeah, so they're marching down the street. I don't know where they're going. I think it's all of them, guys. I think it's all of them. I don't know where they're going. They're going somewhere. I don't know where it is, but I will keep you updated what's happening there, guys. So that is the latest from Epping. As it happens, guys, the people in Epping are marching down the street somewhere. I don't know where they're going. Obviously, I'm not there, but they're going somewhere. But anyway, sorry. So Lisa Jane is saying it looks like the nurses are going to strike. Guys, look. What better way to get rid of all these distractions on internal politics than to have a good old-fashioned war? Look, guys, I've looked into Keir Starmer's eyes. He is not, Keir Starmer is not a war leader. I don't know who is. I really don't know who is. I don't know who the war leader would be, guys. If we get into a fisticuffs with Russia, I certainly don't see Keir Starmer having that role. I don't know who it would be, guys. I really don't know who it would be. I mean, I would like to choose. Let me know who you think. Let me know who you think you would like us. Like, if we were in a war right now with, if the United Kingdom, like this next Friday, a war is declared with Russia, who would you have? Who would you have as your war? Like, in the count, you can only choose from whoever's there now. Like, you can't choose, so you can't bring someone in. So who would you choose, guys? Who would you choose as British wartime leader? I know who I choose, but I'll let you guys comment on that. Freddie is saying, revealed Iran's plans to kidnap and kill UK and US citizens. Right, let me get this up. Right, breaking news from 55 minutes ago. Revealed Iran's plan to kidnap and kill UK and US citizens. Dissident journalists and officials around the world are being targeted by Tehran, State Department warns. Iran is conducting covert operations to kill and kidnap people in the UK and US. The State Department has warned. Do you see now why the UK has to separate itself from what's happening in the Middle East? We can't be fighting a war on two fronts, guys. We can't be fighting a war on two fronts. Neither can the United States. So you've got this separation now. The separation whereby the United Kingdom are going over here, the United States are going over there, and maybe, just maybe, This meeting between Keir Starmer and Donald Trump was the final handshake that confirmed everything. I don't know. Maybe it was. I'm going to close that. Freddie is saying an Iraqi dealer of certain contraband is granted asylum after converting to atheism. How do you convert to atheism? That doesn't even make sense. Silly Gallardi is saying, I read an article claiming that the world is using Ukraine to test their new technology and I did it again, didn't I, guys? I did it again. That's not what Silly Gallardi is saying. Oh, Silly Gallardi is actually saying, I read an article claiming that the world is using Ukraine to test their new weapons technology. Yeah, I mean, this has been going on for a while, guys. It really has been going on for a while. I do think the conflict in Ukraine is about to take a step up, and I do think it's going to happen next Friday. I did a video earlier on. And I said it could be this Friday or next Friday. But now I talked it through with myself, and I heard some information from the ground. Because the fact that there are mass protests planned at multiple hotels next weekend, next Friday, that would signal to me that the government would want something to happen to take the media attention away from these hotels. So rather looking at the hotels and the problems that we've got in the United Kingdom, we're looking at Eastern Europe and looking at a possible deployment, possible conscription, possible World War III. Look, guys, let's face it, we're in it anyway. Sorry, she space cakes. I don't know what that means. Debbie Doobs, I don't know what that means, Debbie Doobs. I don't know what that means. Matt is saying Trump said he's not trading with countries that are off to war. Is he talking about us? So, whatever's said in these meetings, let's not pretend for any minutes that, let's not pretend that all this stuff hasn't been planned months, maybe even years in advance. We all know it's coming. Hang on, guys. Give me a second. There's something's happening. So,
I don't know. They were, I think they're directing everyone onto the path there. Yeah, they're trying to bum rush everyone.
Right, so the police are trying to play catch up. The police are trying to play catch up with the protesters. So for those guys who don't know, there's a mass protest at Epping, at the Bell Hotel at Epping. The protesters have just got on the road. I'm sure I just saw police with a MAGA hound. The protesters are on the road now, and they're making. Oh, hang on. I think somebody's about to get arrested.
Well, that's an overreaction there.
Okay, so the protesters now in Epping they were on the road. The police have just made them walk on the walkway, sidewalk. I don't know. I'm not American, but like the walkway, the path. What do you call it in the UK? They're walking somewhere. I don't know where they're going. They're walking somewhere. The police are shadowing them. They're walking across the road. They're singing. They've got music playing. I don't know where they're going. There was a little bit of pushing and shoving between the police and protesters. I think you're going to see it again. Hang on. Do you know what? Some of the police officers are doing really well. Some of the police. Wow. There's a ton of police here, guys. There is a ton of police. I'll keep you informed on what's happening here, guys. I will keep you informed on what's happening. Yeah, I don't know where these protesters are going. They're going somewhere else, obviously. I don't know where they're going. Anyway, sorry. Trump said he's not trading with countries that are off to war. Obviously, all these things are planned. They're all planned. It's all whatever's happening now was planned months and months and months ago. and it, and it's all part of this dialogue. So whatever whatever Donald Trump is talking about, I guess it's just this diversions that we're going to see, and it's fake diversions, guys. It's a fake diversions. Like, the only real ally that America have in Europe is the United Kingdom. It is. They're the only ally that they have in Europe. It is the United Kingdom. All the others just pretend to be allies. So what we're seeing now is the United States and the United Kingdom potentially separating. But it's smoke and mirrors, guys. It is smoke and mirrors. Now, there were lessons learned in 2003, I guess, 2001. Well, the wars the conflicts in Afghanistan, the conflict and in Iraq, where the coalition tried to fight battles on two fronts. Absolute carnage, guys. That means you've divided your forces and you've doubled your enemies. Like, it's like divide and conquer, but the wrong way. You're dividing yourself and letting yourself get conquered. So what I think would happen now is the United States would focus on the Middle East, with an aim at denuclearizing Iran. Remember, all right, the United States have the world's biggest air force with the US Air Force. The United States also have the second biggest air force with the United States Navy. So they have all the air power. They have all the naval power. They don't need Britain and our two little aircraft carriers to come in there and slow things down. They don't need anybody. They've got regional allies in that region. They've got Israel, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, so they've got allies in that region. So that's where I think that's going to happen, guys, and then and logistically, it makes no sense the United States taking all their logistics over to Europe. It's going to be a waste of money when all the logistics that are in Europe can be trucked into Ukraine, whereas all the logistics that need to go to the Middle East need to be sent via naval fleets. Now, if you use a rough metric of 600,000 soldiers is what it took. What was the coalition that went into Iraq in 2003? Wow, 22 years ago, man. That I feel old. No, I don't feel old. I don't feel old at all. I'm in my prime. But that was a long time ago. So if you think about the food, water, ammunition, tanks, trucks, bombs, guns that you need to service 600,000 soldiers, it's kind of a lot. And the only people that have that capacity, nobody else has this, guys, is the United States. They don't need any help. They don't want anybody's help. You know how too many chefs can spoil the broth? That's exactly what you would get if anybody else tried to help the United States in the Middle East. That's the direction of travel I feel we're heading. And we're going to see, I believe, another escalation on the Ukraine front next Friday. Guys, look, I keep saying it. Nobody can say I'm not confident with my predictions. I'm saying next Friday, guys. May happen, it may not. That's what all the data is pointing to. Matt is saying, Tommy are, but not against Russia. I don't know what that means, Matt. Tommy Robinson, but not against Russia. I don't know what that means. And Debbie Doobs is saying, are these... In fact, I'll pin this. In fact, Debbie Doobs is saying, and all these migrants sleeper cells. First of all, I don't know, but you can imagine how bad things would be if the UK was actively sending their own soldiers to the Middle East, sending their own soldiers into Palestine, into Gaza, sending their own soldiers. If the UK if we were actively sending our own soldiers there, you can imagine the order of magnitude that would of more capacity, riots, protests, things going bad in the United Kingdom, because we've got that demographic. So that is, I guess it is what it is. Sean, you're very good at telling us without telling us. Little hints you do. Thank you, Chris White. I appreciate your subtle information gathering skills. Freddie is saying, Sean, What the hell? Ministry of Defence sent me a link. I need to go and complete joint codes? What? Hang on a minute, what? Right, I don't understand what, guys, I don't understand what's happening here. I'm a little bit confused. Freddie is just saying, the Ministry of Defence sent me a link I need to complete to join the cadets. And now it's asking me to get a digital ID from the post office. I don't know, mate. I don't know, but I have seen an uptick. I have seen, and guys, look, who can remember last year? Who can remember last year when I was saying you would see military recruitment start mid to late June this year? And hasn't it happened? Have you noticed that it's happened? We're seeing lots and lots of military adverts on TikTok. Not just military adverts on TikTok, but just like pro-military videos on TikTok. We're seeing that now. And there's a lot of military advertisement on the online space. That's happening now. Why did it happen mid-June? Well, taxes. Oh, hang on, guys. They've stopped. Hang on.
Keep going.
So they're chanting something. I think they're chanting Keir Starmer's a banker. But obviously, because they're stupid gammon and they don't know, Keir Starmer was actually a lawyer, not a banker.
I'm not sure if we can hear that at all over the music.
Right, so at the moment, there's a guy with a yellow hat on. He looks a little bit like Peter Griffin, and he's telling everybody to stay on the pavement. It's called pavement in the United Kingdom, not sidewalk. He's telling everybody to keep onto the pavement or they may be arrested. Now, it looks like they're trying to walk down to the Tower School. I'm seeing the body language again, guys. I'm seeing the body language again with the police. The police don't want to be there. The police do not want to be there. Right, anyway, sorry, guys. Yeah, Freddie, I have no idea what that is. I have no idea what that means, but I am seeing an uptick in military recruitment ads. I said that this would come mid-June time. Why mid-June? Well, the taxes that Angela Rayner, I'm not educated, me, I just love big trousers. I'll do out for a pair of, what is it? I'll sign out for a pair of trousers, me, and I get a matching blouse and all. Oh my God, I'll sign out, me, I'll sign out. So all these taxes that came in that made it difficult for employers to employ people. Yeah, you heard that right, guys. That obviously led to a mass exodus of jobs. Lots of jobs were lost in May. People just couldn't afford to employ people anymore. So what that's done is it's forced a lot of people into unemployment. And I said that would come April, beginning when these taxes came in. So April, May, we know this happened, guys. We know that this happened. So they would still have their money and they would go through that month like they had their money. June is the month where people's money has run out, and that is why I said that's when you would see the uptick in military recruitment ads. And it happened. And Google it, I guess. Sorry, and Freddie there, I guess, is just confirming it. I don't know. I don't know, Freddie. I don't know how to do it. I wouldn't know how to do it. I literally, when I joined the army, I went down to my army careers office and I left school in September. When do you leave school? I left school in August or whatever it was. Whenever you break up for the 6 weeks holidays, I broke up for the 6 weeks holidays when I was in the 5th year, and then rather than going back to school or college or university in September, literally straight in the army. Boom. I was straight in the army. Started day one, week 1, basic training at ATR Lichfield. Oh, right, okay. So Matt is saying Tommy Robinson would be a good war leader. I don't think he would. I don't think he would be a good war leader. I don't think he would be a good war leader. He's certainly charismatic, but I don't think he has the stomach for it, guys. I don't think he has the stomach for it. I don't think he would have the stomach to send people places that he knows they're not coming back from. I don't. And if you want to win a war, as a country, if you want to win a war, you've got to be kind of ruthless. You've got to go from, you've got to be ruthless, and you've got to accept a high attrition rate. Debbie Doobs is saying, I'm dreading the autumn budget, and we don't have any politicians up to being the job of a wartime leader. I think we do, guys. I think we do. Get on BGT. What's that? I don't know what BGT is. And Sarah Edlington is saying, Freddie, for a DBS, you now have to confirm through post office digital ID. Oh, guys, this is all new to me, all this digital ID and stuff. I just, I don't see this as going anywhere good, guys. I really don't. We are at a scenario right now, the United Kingdom, where I was on, I can't remember what I was watching. I was watching something, and it said comments restricted until you can identify your age or something. I was like, hang on a minute. Like, what? What's the meaning of this? But then who dictates what we can and can't see? That's what I'm getting at, guys. Like, who dictates what we can and can't see? We're going into a scary place, guys. We're going into a scary place. Oh, Britain's Got Talent with my impersonations. Yeah. I mean, look, even right now, look, guys, I want to keep coming back to this. Because I've come to a better analysis. While we were on the live stream, I've come to a better analysis. I found out that there's mass protests planned all over the United Kingdom next Friday, not tomorrow, but next Friday. And I'm putting all this information, all these little data points together, and I'm saying, it's all public record, guys, so we'll come back next Friday. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll hold my hands up. I'm saying that next Friday, I'm foreseeing a military escalation of some sort in Ukraine. Now, I don't know whether that's the Russians breaking through in and around Pokrovsk. I don't know whether that's the Ukrainians taking control of the nuclear power plant in Kursk. I don't know what it is, but you're going to see the media switch focus next Friday to Ukraine. It's going to be all over. It's going to be all over Ukraine. Nothing's going to be over. The media focus is going to be all over. It's going to be all about Ukraine next Friday. What that will do, that will take the heat off Keir Starmer's domestic policies. That will stop people watching. It will stop people watching, how people are watching, people will be watching the protests online. It will stop that, because then people will be thinking, oh my God, yeah, there's protests, but yeah, there's also World War III happening. So, but ladies and gentlemen, don't worry. If I'm still here, indicator, I may have to go somewhere pretty soon. If I'm still here, I'll be covering both, guys. Don't worry, I'll be covering both. I'll be letting you guys know what's happening, and it will be the Summer of Carnage, guys. It really will. Let me just have a quick update, because I've not heard much from the Manchester... No, there's nothing. nothing out there. Yeah, we know that man found guilty. Let me have a look what's on X. But I think I saw something earlier saying that that police officer could lose his job. Sorry, guys. Give me a second. Violent thug in this picture is 20-year. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, as well. The most popular names, UK most popular names are out. And Mohammed is the most popular. You know, it's the most popular name for babies in 2024. It was also the most popular name for babies in 2023 as well. So we have, fantastically, we have a lot of baby Mohammeds, more baby Mohammeds than anyone else for the second year running, which I think is a fantastic thing. Right, where was I going with this? Right, I'm just looking at, give me a second, guys. Yeah, nothing really is. I thought the other brother might have been a verdict might have been reached for him today, but it looks like there's no verdicts being reached with that guy. So I don't know. Maybe it'll happen tomorrow. Maybe it'll happen. I don't know. You'd like to think a verdict to be reached tomorrow, wouldn't you? Otherwise, that's going to go on to the weekend. It's going to be Monday. You know, people looking at World War III happening next weekend. So you know, you would be looking like, you know, you need this to happen pretty quick. But I saw an article and it said, the gentleman officer who was making the arrest, he may lose his job. He still may lose his job over this incident. Like, can you imagine that, guys, as a scenario where that guy loses his job? It's phenomenal. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I genuinely do not know. I don't know if it's legal or not to throw hands at a police officer if they come to arrest me and they don't say, I'm officer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm arresting you on suspicion of thought crime. I don't know if that's legal, guys. I genuinely don't know if that's legal anymore. It might be legal. It might not be legal. We don't know. I thought it was illegal, but now I don't know. Right, let me put AJ audits up, guys. Let me get this AJ audits or AU audits. Okay. Right, guys, I'll get this up. I'll get the live stream up. I may have to watch an ad, but don't worry, I'll watch that ad for you. Right. Please share this. Please hit the like button. Like on. Right, guys, I'm gonna leave you playing with this audio. I'm just gonna jump off screen and get myself a glass of Coke. Am I allowed to show Coke on the and you have to pay extra as well in the UK. We have to pay. Like, I don't know if anybody's watching internationally, but we have to pay extra in the UK if we want full fat Coke. That's the view I've got. Oh, So they found, right, okay, guys, listen, so, right, okay, so right, okay. I think the migrants have been moved to another hotel, and they've gone down to the hotel where the migrants are now. Right, guys. So there's people here now with balaclavas on. I assume they're men with balaclavas. Right, and they're at the door. They're trying to bang into the door. There's people with their faces covered trying to make entry into the hotel. I don't know where the police are.
I'm not getting involved with it.
So the guy on the live stream just said, I'm not getting involved in this, and he's moved back, which is quite fair. But he's still live streaming. He doesn't want to live stream what's happening, and I understand why he doesn't want to live stream what's happening, because that is like total ban stuff. Right, so the guy who's filming, he's gone, and you can hear banging now. I don't know where the police are, guys. I don't know where the police are. But there's a lot of banging. There's a lot of people now with balaclavas turned up.
Yeah, that's how you film that. It's a modern hotel. What's happening families, but they're moving on.
There's no police here. Look, guys, this is what look, guys, okay? How many times have I told you that this is how it's going to go bad? So I don't know whether this was a planned thing, but if you understand, if you guys been watching the live stream, or was watching, and I'm trying to piece together these things and hang on, guys. Right, so look, guys, the scenario in Epping, as I understand it right now from watching various streams, there was guys, I'm going to try and give you this in real time as best I can. So the protest was outside the Bell Hotel in Epping. Those protesters then went to march somewhere, and all the police followed them, and the police went with the main group. Now, I'm watching footage from a smaller group with balaclavas on now, at another alleged migrant hotel. There are police officers there. There's 2 police officers there. There's only 2 police officers. But this is what I've said. I don't know if this is a tactic to draw the police away, to get the police away from the main event. But this is what you're going to see, guys. Literal sword and sandals tactics being used in and around these hotels. People need to be careful, because at some point, ladies and gentlemen, those occupants of those hotels, if they're not being secured, let's not forget, guys, you know, these are fighting age men. They're going to come out swinging. They're going to come out with the sharp pointed things that you usually eat your dinner with, you know, and somebody's going to get seriously hurt. They really are, guys. I mean, what I'm seeing now, guys, is absolutely, yeah, I don't know if this was planned. I don't know if they organized this. I don't know if people said, listen, about, I don't know, 8 o'clock or whatever, about 8 o'clock or whenever, you know, we're going to all march down this way peacefully, chanting, being loud, and you guys go and do a switcheroo and get yourselves down there while all the police have come with us. There are people with balaclavas on, people with their faces covered. The police have limited numbers. More police arriving now, guys. More reinforcements arriving. The police look like they've secured the police look like they've secured the entry point. People are still banging. The police are vastly outnumbered here. There's 4 police officers visible, and you wouldn't have any police officers inside. In this instance right now, guys, you wouldn't have any police officers inside. You'd want them all outside, showing their being visible.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Right, I'm going to turn that off now, for guys. I will keep you guys informed. I will keep you guys informed and see what's keep you guys updated on what's happening. Anyway, let me jump up and get these. Get these comments, ladies and gentlemen. Potsinator says, "Damn, I turned up late." Don't worry, you didn't turn up late. It was me. I was on early, ladies and gentlemen. I was on early because I forgot to go and light the barbecue, haven't I? I need to go and light the barbecue in a second. So, Matt, I'm watching AJ audits. So this is at the Stanwell Hotel. Let me just Google where the Stanwell Hotel is. But you see what I'm talking about now, guys. They can only get 4 officers at this Stanwell Hotel. The main bulk of the officers will be around the oh God, Jesus, what just happened? I put Stanwell Hotel in Epping and it just right. Give me a second. Right, I have no idea where this is. Stanwell Hotel, Epping, is that it? Right, I'm looking at Epping now. I want to find. No, every time I put hotel in, it shows you like the Stanwell. Is it Stanwell House? Is it Stanwell House Hotel? Is it Stanwell? Right, I don't know. There's a lot of Stanwell hotels, I guess. No, I don't know, guys. I'm not going to give that much. I'm not going to give that much more. I was just trying to find out proximity-wise. Somebody stood next to a police car and he's just put a can of cider on the police roof. Anyway, right. Let me get these comments. April Lee saying, yeah, we're talking about, yeah, I had to get, I had to get an, I had to get on. I had to pay extra for my sugar, for my full fat Coke. In Israel, we pay extra tax for sweet drinks and disposable cutlery, but it was cancelled. Yeah, I don't like. Like if you want an original like glass of Coke, you have to pay like I don't know. I think I had to pay £2.70 for that bottle, and the sugar-free one was like £1.90 or something. I was like, oh God, this is literally, you know the end is near when that's happening. Right, ladies and gentlemen, listen, guys, I'm gonna close this down now. Protests are literally building up everywhere. The main events, I feel, are going to be next weekend. But again, then we've got this concept whereby we may be looking at moving into a war theme next weekend because because of the way the geopolitical spectrum is phased. Donald Trump's gone back to the United States. People from the United Kingdom, they'll be traveling, or they may have even got into Ukraine right now. I don't know. Hang on, let's think about it. They left Wednesday, so they're going to leave Thursday. No, they won't have got there yet. They'll probably get there. They'll probably get there right now. They'll probably be getting into Kiev right now. They're getting into Kiev right now. They'll be staying at the embassy. They'll be in a hotel. They'll probably be in the embassy, actually. They'll be back briefing people. They'll be underground tomorrow briefing their guys. Their guys then have to push out, or maybe they'll have to travel east. Yeah, actually, they'll probably have to travel east. Brief the guys, probably Kramatorsk or something. Brief the guys, put the plan into action. Oh, hang on, somebody's been arrested.
see the dog then.
No, sorry, nobody's been arrested. That was my mistake. Nobody's been arrested. Nobody's been arrested. But I am predicting, guys, that not tomorrow, but next Friday, a big military movement in Ukraine. All the data points are pointing towards it, guys. They really are. All the data points are pointing towards it. Just keep an eye on that sphere, guys, and take whatever information and do whatever you will with that information. Hang on, guys, hang on. Right, these officers are terrified. Right, these officers are terrified. They're vastly outnumbered. There's 4 officers, and I would say there is 50, 60, no more than 100, no more than 100 people at this hotel. This is the exact scenario, guys, I've been talking about. This is the exact scenario I've been talking about. This is, there's like 3 of them are girls. And I mean, no disrespect to girls, but they're smaller and not as strong. And there's some really big burly guys here with balaclavas on. In fact, let me try and share this screen with you guys. Sorry, I do need to go, guys, but let me share this screen with you. What is it? Give me a second, guys. Live from the Stanwell Hotel. Oh. Right, let me get rid of that. Give me a second, guys, and I'll share this with you. Right. I'm going to share this with you guys because this is important. Give me a second. So for the amount of people that have turned up there, guys, there's nobody with riot shields on the police side of it. There's nobody with riot shields. There's nobody there to me on the police side that looks competent. Look at the faces of those officers. They're scared. They're scared. Those officers know how bad this could go quickly. This is what I've been warning about, guys. All right, I've been warning about this for such a long time. These sporadic raids, I guess, you know. So like if those guys went there with massive amount of capacity, you know, and then ran off really quickly, there'd be nothing anyone could do, because by the time the police get there, remember, there's a ton of police in Epping right now. Sorry, you guys are there, aren't you? Remember, there's a ton of police in Epping right now. But they're deployed elsewhere. So the commanders on the ground, they're like, right, do we pull the police away from here and send them there? What do we do? And how many times have I given you guys that scenario whereby the duty desk sergeant, he sat at his office and he's thinking, oh, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? Because right now that's public order. And what they need to do is they need to think, right, we need at least this number of people. We need them to have riot shields. We need them to have batons. We need them to have X, Y, Z. We need all this stuff built up, and we need to get it down there. That takes time. I don't think this was a planned protest, so the police couldn't react to it. The planned protests, people can react to it. The police can react to it. They can put assets in place. They can give dispersal orders. They can do all the rest of it. Here, they literally have 4 police officers guarding that location, guys.
It's not live.
I'm live. Just scan the QR code.
And here we have it, guys. Look at these kids here. Look at these kids. This is the golden generation. These are the kids that are going to rebuild this country. You've heard the meme, strong times create good, strong men create good times create strong men. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's basically explaining the 4th turning.
They're quieting down there now. I'm going to move around to the front again. You probably do, Pink, if you live around here.
Is she in her dressing gown? I think she was in a dressing gown. Must be an Essex thing.
Yeah, there's still around 500 people here, I reckon.
Right, so he's saying 500 people. That's a lot more than I expected. And looking at this crowd, yeah, it does look like there's a lot more. I obviously only saw the back end of that, the people around that corner. Guys, listen, I'm just going to leave this playing a second. I'm going to run outside and light that barbecue.
Yeah, they're still all here. Yeah, security just closing the windows, closing curtains and windows. Unfortunately, not. Yeah, we don't want it kicking. Don't want it really kicking off. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure about that. This was the one that got broken into. Someone got through. Yeah. Yeah, I've still got families in here.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you wanna go and show your support on that channel, don't forget to let them know I sent you. So that's AJ Order. It's live from the Stanwell Hotel, guys. Look, we are going to see a lot more of this coming, guys. We are going to see a lot more of this coming, guys. Oh, is that not in Epping? Is that not in Epping, guys? Right. Okay. I don't know where that was, guys. I thought it was in Epping. Linda is saying that I don't think that's in Epping. Right. I don't know whether that's in Epping or not. But what I've always said is it's these smaller protests that break out. One of them is going to go bad, ladies and gentlemen. It's Murphy's Law. Give enough direction, give enough momentum, and these things will go bad. Listen, guys, I'm going to cut this now. Don't be, hang on. I'm going to cut this. No, guys, it's not the Bell Hotel in Epping. That's not the Bell Hotel. This was, it's the Stanwell Hotel. I thought it was in Epping. I don't know where it is. What I do know is the police are vastly outnumbered. And if that crowd wanted to increase their capacity, there's nothing those police officers could do. And this is what I see the direction of travel happening next Friday when these protests are planned. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to cut this now because, hang on. Yeah, I am going to cut this live stream now, ladies and gentlemen. I've lit the barbecue. I'm going to go and have a barbecue. I hope you guys have a great night as well. Enjoy your summer holidays. If you go into one of these protests, guys, keep it classy. All right, that's all I'm going to say. Keep it classy. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow at 8. 10.